Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500, welcome back to Project Foxy. I believe this is day 13. This is going on and on and on now. Right, we need to get that stereo finished. Need to sort out that wiring. It's all serviced. I haven't done the pollen filter. Forgot to do that. Need to do that. Need some new wipers on it. MoT is booked for next week on Monday. Today is, what is today? Today is Wednesday. MoT is booked for next Monday. So we've got to get all these bits and pieces done. Got to get these wheels done because they've obviously got to go on the cart for the MoT. So let's get on with it. Let's get into it. Let's try and get this done and ready for its MoT for next week. Right, we're back on this again. Someone on a previous video had asked me, let me just take this out again, yet again. Had asked me where I got this from because they were having problems, the aerial, this is the aerial adapter, they were having problems with their aerial. And I said to him that it actually, I've not actually used it, have I, for some reason? Must be still in the box. It does come with one. It comes one with an angle, but I have got this one. And I thought I'd used it, but I haven't. I don't appear to have used it. But I bought this for Project Aussie and didn't need it. Now this isn't a right angle one like that comes with it. What have I done with that? I could have sworn that I'd put that in. I thought that looked a bit tight on there, but yeah, I've just used the ordinary thing that comes with it. So with this, you've got, if I can show you, in the silly blue packaging, so you've got the ordinary plug on there, which isn't at an angle, but then you don't have to put that bit in, because that bit goes into there, like that. So I may have to use that, but I could have sworn that I'd already used the correct thing. Clearly not. Let's have a look in the box, see if I can find that. But what we need to do today, we need to get this stereo sorted out once and for all and get it all back. Now, what I was going to do, so you got amp wire, which don't need any of those. That's all auxiliary ins. These are all for video recorders, amplifiers. There's all sorts of wires that we don't need. Now, I was going to cut them off, but I'm not going to, because you never know. At some point, someone in the future might want to add an amp or do something. So I'm not going to cut them off. It would be nice, but I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to tape them all up out of the way, then they'll push back better. But we need to try and sort out what's going on with these wires as to why it keeps doing a complete reboot every time. It's a matter of identifying which wire is the one that I need to tap into and run a permanent live. I don't think it's a matter of swapping wires over. I think it's a matter of running one of them to a permanent live rather than a switch live. Obviously it'll be a bit of trial and error. But we need to get to the bottom of that day, get that done, and then once we've done all that, well, I think that's the only thing we need to do. Take the brackets out of the side, and then this can just get pushed back and be done, finished, gone. Right, I've got all this disconnected, just got all the wires disconnected. So we've looked at the wiring diagram from the car, and as you can see, that red wire there, which is on position number 4, I think it is, that's permanent live. And this one, we have the white one is, where are we? So if we go back to, where's the plug gone? This plug. Black there is the earth, and red is the permanent live. And I've traced those back, and where's the accessory live is number 3, which is, which one's the accessory live? That's 1, 2, it's the brown one. And both of those wires go to this, so we don't know what comes out of it. It's funny that this differs from Sean's one. When I was actually while I was working at home yesterday, I had Project Aussie video running while I was working, and I kept sort of flitting watching it. And what I noticed, which I didn't notice before, is although these are exactly the same, apart from his was the upgraded one, all these, so for instance, the aerial on his one was over this side. So these connections are all different. So they're the same, but they're in different positions. So they are different, these stereos. I didn't notice that before. And of course we didn't have this issue with his one, it just worked. So they obviously do vary, even though it's the same make, different model. So I would definitely go for the one that Sean had before, because that was more plug and play. Although he doesn't seem to have the door opening thing. Everything else seems to be the same, but yeah, so I'm going to have to, I think tap into the red wire on here and then run it either to strip this back and run it to here, or I think temporarily what I might do is run it to a permanent live down there on a what do you call it, a piggyback fuse. I think I'm going to try that. Excuse me. I think I'm going to try that first, at least to test it. I'd rather run it to there, to be honest with you. Than I don't like cutting into the actual loom. I don't want to like weaken the joints or anything like that. So yeah, I think I might do that. Right. So I have not got very far today with this, I'm afraid. I've tried absolutely everything, and I either have it so it's on all the time, or you press the on off button on it and it's the only way to turn it off, which obviously means it's got permanent live. I've swapped around the different lives. I've run a permanent live and a switch live down there. I've swapped them around. I've done red to yellow, yellow to red, and so on. Swapped them all about. I've disconnected the CAN bus box, and it don't make any difference. Whatever I do, it makes no difference. I cannot get it to do what it should. Lunchtime, I sent an email to their customer support explaining what was happening and seeing if they can suggest anything. If not, I'm going to have to leave it as it is with that boot up, because I don't know. I'm completely and utterly stumped. I've got no idea why it's doing it. And I want to get this back in tomorrow. So, I mean, even if they come back to me afterwards and say, oh, you've got to do this. One thing I'm going to try, I mean, I know I've connected that. So one of them is connected to, so the permanent live is connected to the same one that the rear view light's on. That's why that's on, because I was taking the fuse out and trying it and what have you. So one of them's connected to that, which I think, well, actually they're both disconnected at the moment, but was connected to this. And then the other one was connected to, I can't remember which one it was, but yeah, no, I don't know. Oh, it was the, what was it? What was it? I can't remember. It's something that's only, it's one thing and it's on the ignition, so it's on an ignition live. I'm just completely, I've been hours, literally hours trying to do this. In between, I've been doing the wheels. But yeah, let me show you the wheels. Excuse the wind. So I've tidied those up both sides. I've painted them black. I've gone over them with a wire brush, then painted them black. Done that on both sides. Let me show you. Well, I've got one wheel in the garage. It has rained on and off all day, and I've been rescuing this wheel and getting it into the shed, and it has come up absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Look at that, the shine on it. So that's had a good 2 and a bit coats, because obviously you have to get in all the little nooks and crannies. 2 and a bit coats of two coats of primer, 2 and a bit coats of base coat, and then 2 quite thick coats of lacquer, and it is shining and looks absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. The other one, let me show you, which is in the garden. The wind's coming up again, unfortunately. We're on, this one's not so good. This was bit more badly damaged, but it'll be okay, but it's not as good. So that's had 2 coats. I'm probably just going to go over it with another one light coat. I think it's had 2 quite heavy coats. Yeah, I'm going to give this one another one, because as I say, it's not quite so good. That's that one, and then the third one I've lost. What have I done with it? Oh, I'll put it over here for now. So the third one is all rubbed down, ready to go, this one. So I'll do that one in the morning, and the fourth one is on the other car. So I will be putting this one on the other car and taking the other one off the car, which has got some damage to it, like this one did. So that damage has all been rubbed down using the finger sander and using my finger with some wet and dry as well. So I'll paint that one in the morning. I mean, I probably could paint it today. Could I? I probably could actually. Maybe I will. I might hose it off. I might do it. No, because I've got to do lacquer on the other one. Don't want to rush it. So I've still got to do my lacquer on this one. So I'll do those tomorrow. So two wheels done, pretty much, and 2 to do. Messed me up, but I came out yesterday and I've put some. It rained a little bit on it yesterday, but I put some paint on top of the glue, both bits. I'm going to put some more on. I'm not going to do it today. I don't know. We'll see what the weather forecast is like for tomorrow. But if it's iffy, what I'll do is I'll put something over it. I'll put a cup over it or something and tape it down just so rain can't get to it, just to protect it, because it does take quite a long time to dry properly. The glue was still tacky the following day, so probably 15-16 hours after I did that glue, it was still a little bit tacky. When I got home from work that evening, I tried it and it was all right. So it took more than 24 hours really to dry properly. Anyway, that's it for the time being. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll get this damn thing done one way or the other. I can't see me getting it done. It's just going to have to go back in as it was, I think. I don't think there's anything else I can do unless I get some miraculous reply from the manufacturers overnight, which I think is unlikely. It'll just have to go back and be in like that for the time being. Can always take it out, and if they do reply and we sort it, then it can always go back in, come back out and do it. But until such time, it'll just have to go in and be as it is. But obviously it's nothing to do with the MOT, but I want to get this, I'm itching to get this finished. It's stressing me out now because it needs to be finished. It's the beginning of July now. I missed last summer because it was at the body shop. I need to get this done, finished, MOT'd and sold. ASAP. See you tomorrow. Check out those wheels. They look absolutely amazing. Really, really nice. Well pleased with that. Got to find some covers. I say this one isn't as good, but unless you get really, really close to it, you can't see the imperfections. As you can see, a little bit of grey on there. I slipped with the primer. So we'll get some isopropyl, some surgical spirit. Hopefully we'll get that off. I think it probably will. Yeah, I'm not actually a great lover of black wheels, but I think they look brilliant. So much better than silver. Certainly the silver that they were. The other side, we have the normal wheels still. Haven't touched those. That's the one that was on the front. I'll just put it on the back for now because I need to move the car out of the way. That's the one I said that's going to not get binned, going to keep it, just for instances like this where I need to just have a wheel on a car to move it around. It's silly to dump it when it's a perfectly good wheel for doing that. So yeah, so I've got to carry on now with the other wheels. So one wheel's got to come off the other car, and when I'll swap that, I'll do that later on. And the other one I'm just about to start painting now, so I'm not going to show you all that again like I've shown you before. Excuse me. Got dentist in what's the time? 10 to 10. I've got dentist in at 11 o'clock for a double appointment. Wonderful. So I might be have a slight speech impediment when I get back this afternoon. Yeah, so let's get on. Get as much done as we can before I go to the dentist, and then we do need to get this car temporarily moved out of the way, or will be revealed. Okay, stereo's in, pushed in. There's a bit of a gap underneath, so I think it might have been a little bit too high. I might have to pull the cage down a little bit. It's easy enough to get out now because I've taken those little brackets off. So I put the tray back in. It don't work with the Android thing. It starts up now. I googled it earlier, and I watched a YouTube video. It was in broken English, but I understood what it was saying. And basically it was saying with the Android, it was on an Android stereo, like this one. It's different, but similar sort of thing. And it said on these, you go into car settings and there's a sleep button. And you can make it go to sleep rather than shut down. In which case, it will then boot in 2 seconds because it's not doing a complete reboot. I have gone through that stereo with a fine-tooth comb. There is nothing on there that says sleep anywhere. I can't find it. So I don't know. I just can't find anything. So I thought, you know what, at least for now, let's get it in, because we need to get it ready for the MOT. So we got, as you know, we've got 2 wheels on. I've even managed to find a wheel cap. Another wheel in there is painted and ready to go on, and I've got 1 more wheel to paint, which is still on the other car. So I'm going to go and get that off in a minute. I feel like I've done a lot, although I haven't done very much. I feel like I've done a lot. I adjusted the handbrake. I didn't film that. I just needed to get it done. That was already off. I've just undone the bolt because the bracket was at an angle, and the handle didn't feel very solid. So I tightened it, loosened it, straightened the bracket up as much as I could, held it straight whilst I did the thing up, and then pulled the handle up, and it seems to be fine now. So hopefully that will be okay when it comes to the MOT. So apart from getting that wheel done, getting the hubcaps on, we are done for the MOT on Monday. There's still bits to do. Got to pull out the dent, got to sort that wing out down there where it's a little bit too proud. A couple of bits to touch up on the bumper. So there are still a few bits to clean the engine. Of course, cam belt's got to be done. There are still a few bits and pieces to do. Cam belt's obviously more than a bit bits and pieces. The roof's done as best I can. I have got to waterproof it. I'm not going to go any further on it. I have put 3 or 4 layers of paint. I am going to put even more paint on it. I'm going to try and just keep putting the paint on until I build it up to the same level as the rest of the roof. It's nearly there. You can see it, but you can see it. It's repaired. It doesn't leak. Okay, it doesn't look fantastic, but hey ho. Silver lining. Yeah, so the stereo, I will go on the Fiat forum and I will get the code for that stereo, then I'll stick that on eBay. We've also got to do the filter for the pollen filter. We've got a couple of stickers to stick on here, 500C stickers, where I'm not sure where I'm going to put them. I think they're meant to go down there. I think that's where they're meant to go. Just there? Yeah, that might be better, just there. Just there, sorry. I think initially I bought these. Why did I buy them? No, I bought some stripes that go over the entire seal. So at some point I thought, you know, if I could do that seal and it wasn't 100%, then at least I could put some stickers over to hide it. What was I thinking? But no, I saw these. I bought these with some, I think I got them when I got the 500L ones, and I thought, you know what, for the sake of 4 or 5 quid, whatever they were, let's put them on. So again, you know, we'll do that later. But to all intents and purposes, it's ready for its MOT, which is Monday at 1 o'clock. So today's Thursday. We will come back in this video and tell you, hopefully, fingers crossed, show you a pass. At this stage, I don't care whether there's any advisories. I just want to pass. Then, because it's sawned at the moment, so I can tax it, finish it off and get it for sold. It's July. I need to get it sold this month before bloody summer's over. So that's it for now. Yeah, I won't worry about showing you the other wheel. We'll do the wheel in a bit. Get that done today. Let that dry overnight. Get that put on tomorrow, and then we're done. Ready. I am working over the weekend, so I can't do anything on it anyway. But yeah, so I will see you on Monday once the MOT's done. See you then. Right, it is now Monday morning and we've gone around the car, done a few things. The wheels are all finished. The last one is on. I put that last one on this morning. So we've got the black wheels all round. I've touched up a couple of bits of paint. I have, what else have I done? I've got that, I can still see it a little bit. The sun was on it when I was doing it and you couldn't see it, so I stopped and I'll do it later, but I've got a lot of that dent out. There is still a little bit there, but I just couldn't see it in the sun. You see the computer plugged in. I shall tell you why. I was moving it into the middle of the drive so I could put the blackened stuff on the wheels, and when I stopped it came up no start stop, etc. Now I had noticed that had come up before, stop start deactivated or not available. Didn't know why, and it went away and I didn't really think anything of it. Because it had gone away, I thought Well, we don't know why it's gone away. We don't know why it came up in the first place, but because it had gone away, never gave it a thought. So the light just came up. So I thought, oh my God. And so I plugged in multi-ECU scan, and it said rear light out. So I thought, oh, okay, let's just check the others, make sure they're all right. I put the piece of wood, as you can see, is there on the brake pedal, and we had no brake lights. We have now. We had no brake lights. And when I went into the body computer again, it's also said brake light switch. So I went to the other car that's in front of the house and took the brake light switch out and put it in here, and it's fine. So if you ever get up, I've had this before, if you ever get up, start stop not available for no apparent reason, especially if you've just put your foot on the brake, that's likely to be the culprit, and they're about 12 quid, so I need to get a new one for the other car now. So as well as the mechanical, if that has gone in an accident, that gets pushed right in, and then all you do is you get a pair of pliers on the end of it and pull it out to reset it. But if it's gone electronically, you're stuffed, you need to get a new one, but they are cheap anyway. So luckily I had another car, because the MOT is in a couple of hours time, so that's all okay now, thank God for that. Oh, what a relief. Oh, what else have I done? As you probably remember, if you go back to previous videos, the thread in there was buggered, and I managed to get the bolt out after trying to force it in, and it's fine. It's fine, it came out. Luckily I had a tap and die set that I bought ages ago. I had no idea how to use it, but I figured it out. I should have filmed it actually, but I was just a bit stressed about doing it. Not that for the MOT, but I just needed to do it. And I managed to re-thread it, and the bolt's gone in. A new bolt that I found in my big bucket of bolts went in nice and easy, so that's fixed as well. So hopefully it's going to pass the MOT. I don't know. I'm not confident that it's going to, but hopefully it will. The only other thing I've got to do is it's got this satin door handle on, which I've got to change for a chrome one, because obviously it should be chrome. And I'll flog that one. They're quite expensive, so I'll flog that one. Sorry about that, my wife was just asking me if I wanted a cup of tea. So yeah, so need to do that. There is a little thing down there, that wing needs to be pushed in a little bit further. What I'm hoping is when the body shop put that wing back on, they haven't done that bolt up, because it is standing proud, so it does need to go back. The wheels are looking fabulous, absolutely brilliant. A lot of effort, but they look brilliant. They look better in real life than they do on camera probably, but I've blacked the tyres up, as you can see. I've got my little patented device to stop the driveway getting stained. But it's starting to look the picture now. So the roof is still, I'll put yet another coat of paint on those this morning. They're as good as they're going to get, basically. So I just need to clean the roof off again, and I think then we'll just protect the roof. And then the only other thing we've got to do is, let me just turn this ignition off, because we know the brake lights are working now, so we need to turn it off. The only other thing we need to do is cam belt. Now, I have a bit of a dilemma. Let me just tell you about it. Okay, before I carried on, I just wanted to do one more diagnostic just to make sure. So we do get an error coming up for the stereo. That's because the stereo's been removed, of course. That's why. Unless you physically go to the body computer and remove the stereo, it will keep coming up. But it doesn't give you any errors on the dash anyway. It's just a stereo removed or whatever it says. But that doesn't matter. That can stay like that. Because for a start, if anyone ever decides they want to put the original stereo back in, if I disable it, then it won't work. So I'll leave it enabled. So the dilemma I have, and I'll obviously confirm this later on. So I am buying myself a new car for me. I'm going to be selling the 500X. If anyone's interested, let me know. I'm selling it for $9,950. Is what it's going up for. I've got a couple of bits I've got to do on it. I've got a tiny little parking ding in the rear driver's side door. I've got to pull that out. I've got a couple of scratches that someone has clipped my bumper as they've come out of the parking space probably. I've got to sort that out. It needs a good clean, it needs a good polish. And the only other thing is the DAB radio. Now, I was going to replace the entire DAB aerial. As we know, they fail. But I have got one of those stick-on ones, which I used in one of the other cars, the stripped white car that didn't have a stereo in it. I upgraded it with the DAB one, and I used one of those, and they work absolutely fine. So I thought what I would do, so you've got the connections in the back of the roof, and on the cars with GPS and DAB, you've got an aerial plug, you've got a DAB plug, and you've got a GPS plug. Now they're different plugs, industry standard, as some of you probably know, they're FACRA ones. So what I thought I would just try is, because I've got one of those already, I thought I'd try plugging that in under the headlining and then putting it maybe on the back window or something like that, and see if it works. If it works fine, then I don't need to replace the entire aerial. If it does, then I'll order an entire aerial. But that is going to, basically what I'm saying, to cut a long story short, is that I'm selling the X to almost finance the new car I'm getting, which I will reveal at another time, and obviously we'll show you. It is a Cat S. It's not Fiat. It's not a Ford, because you know I had a Puma before. So stick with me, hopefully in a couple of weeks or so, and I will get it. So I've got to finance this car. So obviously I haven't got all this money lying around. I'm not a rich man. I'm a normal working fella. So I've got some money that I can put towards it. I can pay a deposit, and the bloke will hold it for me. He said for a couple of weeks, 10% deposit, and he'll hold it for me for a couple of weeks. A couple of weeks might not be long enough, because I've got to sell it. I mean, I don't think I will have trouble selling it. It's in lovely condition. It's ultra low mileage, 17,000 miles. Just needs a good clean, a couple of little bits to, sort it out. Doesn't need MoT until January. It was serviced last August, but I've barely done any miles, so I'm not going to service it or anything like that. So I want to try and sell it as soon as possible to finance this new car. Which means I've either got to borrow money on my credit card or get a loan that I will then pay back in a month's time, because I don't want to obviously lose out on this car. I say the car does need work, so I won't be able to drive it straight away, but I still got the old bath, so I can be driving around in that for a while, unless I happen to sell it, and then I'm knackered, but I'll have to get the bus. But the dilemma I'm having with this car, and this is only really if it passes the MoT or fails with something silly, like a bulb or something that I quickly come home, do and take it back. If it fails on suspension or something like that, and I've got to go back next week, then there's no point. But what my dilemma is, and I know you all want me to, and I want to do the cam belt on this car, but because I could do with selling this car to help me finance the new car, because I've had this car so long, I still think I can sell it for 3,500, especially as it's July. It's a convertible, so I reckon it's worth 3.5 grand, because it's not in bad condition actually. 52,000 miles, I think it is. Yeah, 52,000 miles. And I've got someone who's interested in it anyway, and as you know, I've got a list as long as my arm. So I need, if this passes its MoT today, I need to get shot at this ASAP. So my dilemma is, I need to take my time over doing this cam belt. Yes, I should get it done in a day. If I do something wrong, I don't know. I probably won't, and it'll probably be okay. But I am going to, if this passes its MoT today, I'm going to get onto Glenn, the mobile mechanic, and say to him, is there any chance? He'd probably say no, because he's too busy. I'm going to say, is there any chance you can fit me in for a quick cam belt this week? I've got the part. I say, I've got the parts. I'm quite happy to pay you, blah, blah, blah. See what he says. Otherwise, if he says, no, I can't do it for 2 weeks, then obviously I might as well just do it myself. That's my dilemma. But I won't know until I get back today. So I think it's about 11 o'clock now, and my MoT is at 1. So by 2 o'clock this afternoon, I will know whether it's passed or not. Fingers crossed. I think I'm more nervous about this car than I've been on any cars I've done before. This car was at the point almost of being scrapped many times, as you know, in the body shop for a year and 5 days or a year and 4 days. So nightmare car, had a lot of work done on it. New rear beam, new wing, new door, new sill, quarter panel, roof stuff, just loads and loads and loads of work done, and of course the stereo. Now it's in quite a nice condition now. Needs a polish, needs a wash, needs a decontamination and so on. But apart from that, it goes nice. It's got a nice gearbox, it's got a nice clutch, it runs fine. So we will see. So I will be back. I've got nothing more I can do on it. I'm just going to go around and check the rest of the lights and what have you to make sure they're all working. I will be back when I get back from the MoT, and I will let you know how it goes. keep your fingers crossed for me. For you, it's going to be right now. For me, it's an agonising wait for another 3 or 4 hours. So I'll see you then. Right, we are back from the MOT. I was in town doing a bit of shopping during the MOT, and when it got sort of towards the time, I sat on a bench and just kept doing a refresh on the MOT status, and it was still saying expired whenever it was, October 2021. So I started walking my way back to the MOT centre. So I sat on a bench, did it again, same thing, and then I went on to the .gov normally, and rather than doing like MOT status, I did MOT history. And when you looked at the latest, it showed it being done. And let me show you the result. It's a pass. Does have 2 advisories. It says the fan is noisy when running. Radiator fan, obviously. So what I'll do, I haven't heard that run, to be honest with you. I guess while they had it, half hour, 40 minutes, engine running, when it's up on the ramps, maybe it sounded noisy. But what I'll do, I'll plug in MoT ECU scan, you can activate it, and we'll see how noisy it is. If it is noisy, I think I've got one, I'll change it. They've also said tyre worn close to legal limit, worn on edge, outside rear, offside rear, inner. Very, very minute. I've had a look, it's very, very minute. I didn't notice it at all when I was doing the wheels. The rest of the tyre is fantastic, so I'm not going to change that, because it's so minuscule. I'm surprised they actually mentioned it, to be honest. But as you can see there, it's only actually done 2 and a bit thousand since the last MOT. Sorry, the one before, the last MOT was in 2020. Of course, because it's been out of action for almost 2 years. It done 50,436 on the 7th of December 2020, and it ran out on the 6th of October 2021. And today, on the 10th of July 2023, it's done 2 and a bit thousand miles. So it hasn't done much mileage, but it is a pass. Fan bloody tastic. So nerve-wracking. So nerve-wracking. This looks amazing with these black wheels. It really looks nice. I'm well pleased with it. So this is going to be a great car. So I've still got a few bits to do. I am going to, as I mentioned a bit earlier, I am going to send a message to the mechanic, because time is of the essence now. I know I was going to do it, and I will do it on this one, I promise you. The cam belt needs to get done ASAP, so I'm going to call him, see if he can squeeze me in this week. The steering wheel is very, very slightly off centre. It's about 5 to 12. It's, or 10 to 12, but no, 11 o'clock. Let's call it 11 o'clock. So that needs to, I need to take that down. Hopefully they can squeeze me in tomorrow. Shut up. And we'll get that done. And then we just need to attack that dent again. I can see it now. Now that it's not in the direct sunlight, I can see it. It is still there. So I need to do a little bit more work on that and get that out a bit more. And we need to sort out the roof, the waterproof that, which I can't do today because of the sun. I've got to do it. I might do it one evening. And I've just got to buff that out. I'm going to decontaminate the entire car, because it's got, as you can see, look at all that iron deposits on that. Horrendous. So I'll get some fallout remover on that. Yeah, almost there. Right, so if you take off the yellow adapter and plug the Elm connector straight in, turn that music off, and then connect to the engine ECU, and then click on the actuators tab, you will see you can, it says first speed and second speed, because this, oh no, this has got aircon, so it's got the twin speed. So actually I haven't got one, because the only ones I've got are single speed, so I'm hoping it's not too bad. So what all we do is we click on execute, and we should hear the first speed of the fan. Let's do it. Don't know if the mic will pick this up, but we'll try. I can't even hear it. Completed. Couldn't hear it at all. Second speed. I wouldn't have said that was massively noisy. Let's try it again. A little bit noisy, I suppose. It sounds like maybe the fins are hitting something. We'll have to have a look at that. So also, I thought, that's very scratched up, that, isn't it? You can see how bad that is, the handbrake. It's quite scratched up, isn't it? So I thought I'd put one of those on. Nice little leather cover. It doesn't actually cover the knob very well on this. I used one before on a Sport, and it covered it a bit better, but you can still get to the knob through the hole. It just doesn't go around the knob quite so well. But that's alright. That's fine. Yeah, looks better, doesn't it? I like that. Right, I've done a few bits and pieces. We've done the roof. Put the protectant on the roof. It says allow 3 hours to dry. Unfortunately, there's a little bit a bit of sun, so it's dried off a bit quick. I'm only giving it the one coat. I haven't got enough to do the entire thing twice, so it's only getting the one. So it looks all right, you know. It looks all right. I mean, the burns don't look brilliant, but you know, it is what it is. So what have I done? I've still got to do this. I'll do this tomorrow. We'll run out of time now. I've stuck those little things on both sides. Little fake things that I got on AliExpress. I like these little sticker bits and pieces. I know some of you think they're tacky, but hey ho. Got me Love 500 sticker on there. I've done the DRL. I've put the new DRL bulb in, and I've done that up. That isn't perfect gap there, but it's better. It's not too bad. It's all right. I can live with it. I have iron fallout all over it, and I have bought some of this. Now this was recommended by the guys at Easy. I've forgotten the bloody name of his channel now. Easy Move Recovery, not channel. Sorry, he's at Instagram. Easy Move Recovery. He recommended this stuff to me. He'd seen that I'd used G-Technique products, other products, and he recommended it to me. And he said that he'd seen someone doing a car, I think it was next door to him or across the road from him or something, and he thought he'd polish the car, and he gave him a little trade secret. You put a little bit in to a squeezy bottle, out of direct sunlight, you squirt it on, leave it 5 minutes, and then hose it off, and it looks like you polished the car. According to this, it lasts for 3 months. You're meant to put it in a pressure washer and do it like you would do with snow foam, but he said, so it basically says on here, a fast and simple way to protect your vehicle's painted surfaces. Products have been formulated to be applied using the Easy Coat attachment. Optically clear UV repelling coating cross-links to your vehicle's paint, leaving a durable barrier. Blah blah blah. So I haven't tried it yet, but the car is clean, so I am going to give it a squirt and see what it looks like. But yeah, he recommends it. He says he does all his cars in it now, and it looks like you polished it. So the car is, to all intents and purposes, done. We have 2 things to do, 3 things to do. Was it 4 things to do? Let me tell you. Right, cam belt. I've spoken to the mechanic. He is going to come and do it for me tomorrow afternoon. Late afternoon. He's going to fit me in at the end of the day. You know the reasons why. I won't go over it again. I need to get this out of the way and done. Sold to finance my new car. So I've got the things I've got left to do. So tomorrow I have got to have another little go at that dent. It's mainly out, but it's still got to come out a little bit more. I've got to change that door handle for a normal chrome one. I have got to sort that wing out, so I'll probably take the wheel off, jack it up, take the wheel off, peel the arch liner back. I'm hoping the bolt's not in, and once I bolt it up, it'll pull it in. If not, I'll have to, I don't know, we'll see. And we've got to clean the engine bay. And then of course there's the cam belt. Oh, and one final thing is the aircon needs regassing. So I was going at 5:30 to regas the aircon tomorrow, but I don't think I'm going to be able to make that now because Glenn is coming to do the cam belt. So I may have to delay that, and work is going to get in my way, unfortunately. So that's what's left to do, which will be done tomorrow, apart from the aircon. Everything else will be finished tomorrow. I'm going to get this easy coat on, and yeah, I'm going to spray it on, leave it 5 minutes, hose it off, and see what it looks like. Yeah, I like that stuff. It's good. So I've literally sprayed it on, left it a few minutes, fed the cat, come out, hosed it off, and then used the old drying towel on it and dried it. And it does. It looks like the car's been polished. It's amazing. I mean, it's probably very similar sort of stuff to the built hamper in the little sachets, but yeah, it's quite easy when you with the built hamper stuff. Although you can put it in a bucket and then hose it off, which is, you know, quite easy. I normally put it on with spray lance, but yeah, it's just sticking it in a squirty bottle, which you could probably do with that, I imagine. But yeah, it's always good to try these new products, and I like it. So I just had a message back from the lady who is very, very interested in this car. Sent her a picture and said car should be ready Wednesday. Obviously I'm working Wednesday evening, so she's probably not going to be able to come till, well, before the weekend hopefully. So I'm hoping that this will be gone by the weekend. Fingers crossed. Right, morning, back again on the following day. Still looking as if it's just been polished. Amazing. Really amazing. I don't know if I've got some on the windscreen, but that I did actually clean that. That needs a clean. The roof is now protected, all dried obviously, as it says allow 3 hours. As good as it's going to get. Right, so you know what we've got to do. I'm not going to go through it. Let's get on with it. Door handle first. I'm not going to film me doing it. Let's just do it. So as you can see, there's a satin door handle on it. And there we have, with a nice shiny chrome one. All done. Right, that's one job done. Next job is clean the engine bay. So as you've seen before, this is a very, very dirty engine bay. I had a look back last night actually at the delivery, because I couldn't remember whether this front had been done or not. It's such a long time. It's 22 months since I bought this car. I got it in September 2020. Sorry, 2021. It's now July 2023. So, and I couldn't remember what the damage. Oh, obviously I knew what the side damage was, and I couldn't remember. If you want to look back at that video for the first day when it was delivered, and then we did the walk around, click on the link above, and I'll also put a link to it at the end of this video as well. It was some interesting viewing for myself, because I had forgotten. I really had forgotten. But then there was no damage at the front whatsoever. So it's still got the original bumper on, original slam panel, everything is original here, apart from the battery. It's had a service, as you know. Just got to clean it up. I was going to leave it until the cam belt was done, but seeing as Glenn the mechanic's coming today to do the cam belt, I thought I might as well just get it done. So let's get it clean. So it's very, very dusty. Very, very... It's not dirt as such, it's just... Well, it is dirt, I suppose, but it's road grime. Don't forget, it was parked up for 5 months, then it was parked up again with for another year, and I think it was quite similar to this when I actually first got it from Copart, because I actually commented it on the first video, on the walk around video. So it needs a damn good clean. Let's do it. So there it is, really, really dirty. There you go, that's better. Not massively clean, but you know, don't go mad on it, but it's presentable now. Before I go for the tracking, I thought what I'd do is, if you remember yesterday, I did the actuators for the fan, and I couldn't hear the slow fan, and I thought to myself, you can always hear that slow fan, so I reckon the slow fan wasn't working. So I thought, you know what, let's take the resistor out of the other car that's in front of the drive and swap them over. So I've undone the bolt, I've taken it out, and that is what I got out. The actual resistor part of it is not there. And when I looked, I'm not sure if the camera's going to see it, but it's here. It's in the hole, the green bit, and I reckon it's fallen down. And I reckon it's that the fan is hitting, causing the noise. And I've been trying to, with this pair of long nose pliers, I've been trying to get it out. I've got to persevere. It will come out. It's just a matter of getting it out. But in a way, that's good news, because if that is what's causing that fan to make that noise, so I was going to change it. I found a fan, I have got one, but when the front panel's on, I have done them before, and I can't remember whether I did it downwards, put it up on a ramp and did it downwards, or whether I got it upwards after taking off the airbox. I can't remember, but it is a pain changing those. Although it's only held on by 2 nuts, 2 bolts, and then slides in, it's getting it out from there. but I reckon, I'm pretty confident that that's what's causing it. So it's just a matter of me persevering, and then we'll get the other one out of the other car and swap them over, and then hopefully that will do that. Another job and another job done, or almost. Let's do it. It took some doing, but I got it out in the end, so that should be soldered onto there. I'm not even going to bother trying to fix it. I mean, look at the state of it. I could solder it on, but the bit in the middle here, which is probably another resistor of some sort, that I believe, and I think that probably that mark is where the fan's been hitting it. Oh my God, it's age, isn't it? These things just fall apart, and you know, again, this car was sitting around for quite some time, which is why I was worried about it not passing the MoT. Right, let's go at the other car, and then we'll show you and we'll compare them, and then we'll swap them over, and then we'll run the actuator test again, and hopefully it'll work on. Turn that torch off. Hopefully it will work on both speeds then, but we will soon find out. Let's go and grab the keys for the other car and take it out. All right, there's the other one, which is in infinitely better condition. Still used, of course. This was part of the front panel that I put on the other car, but I will put the cost against this car, but I'll get one ordered for the other car today. I think you can get them new actually from about. I'm not even sure, they don't actually fit very well, the aftermarket ones. The shape of the plastic's slightly different for some bizarre reason, but you can shoehorn them in, and they do work. But if I can get a decent second-hand one, I might do that instead. We'll see what's available. There's always loads on there. It's a common thing that goes, so I'll probably get a new one, to be fair. But at least we can get that in here, and as I say, I'll relate the cost of whatever it cost me for the new one for this car, but of course we need to get this one working properly. Right, let's do it. Right, so now we're on that menu page, and we are going to execute this, so let's do it. As I say, we didn't hear it before, and I don't think it was going. Let me try it now. So right, we click on execute. I can hear it straight away. You probably can't. And there's no noise. It's just the noise of the fan spinning. So I think when we do the second speed, same's going to apply. So obviously what it was banging against. Yeah. Can you hear it? And it's just spinning as it should. Oh, that's really good. So not only do I now know that the fan is working on both speeds, there's no noise. So that came up on the MoT has now been fixed. Fan-bloody-tastic. Fantastic. Oh dear, no pun intended. Sorry about that. Right, that's it. Done. Tracking's done. I've just touched up a couple of little bits of paint that I missed. Given it another hoover, because when they did the tracking, they had to use the oxyacetylene on it, and it left all the little black specks that had gone in the open roof. He offered to blow it all out for me. I said, don't worry, I'll hoover it out when I get home. So that's all done. So yeah, cam belt tonight, and then that's it. Finished. At last. At long last. Right, we are back from having the aircon gassed. It is now all gassed up, and that was the last thing to do. So cam belt was done this afternoon. All done. Aircon is all nice and cold. So that's it. All finished. Everything is done. Nothing more to do. All the bits of paint are touched up. Everything done. I can relax on this one now and message the lady and let her know it's all ready. So after an extremely long project with loads and loads and loads of work, this one is finally done and ready to go. So I'm going to message the lady and tell her she can come and look at it whenever she wants. So hopefully that might be tomorrow. So thank you for sticking with me. I think this is this 12 or 13, this video? I can't remember now. Lost track. One or the other. But it has been a long slog. Almost as long as Loopy Harold. Well, in meant a time, longer, but the amount of work, it's been a long one. Anyway, it's done, finished. Project Foxy is going to be off to a new home very soon. If you're not a subscriber, don't forget, click on the button, subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and until the next project and the next video, thanks for watching, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.